Hey guys, I'm HB, this is Dr. Pink, and today I'm going to talk about the guitar secrets, the vibrato. Not the vibrator, the vibrato. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button, also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy with a premium membership account or a normal member account. So, what is today's topic? It's the vibrato. I mean, all of you know the vibrato, but there's a lot of secrets behind it and not a lot of knowledge and wisdom behind it. Why is the vibrato so important? Let's take it simple. If you have the guitar tone, I take now a distorted sound. Sounds like shit, you know? Or here. It's like a violin, you know? Playing a violin, the tone of the violin also doesn't really sound pleasant, but the vibrato is what gives the tone life. It's also, you know, like a synthesizer, they all have these LFOs, and a tone is just a frequency, makes woo, but the vibrato gives it color, gives it life. And the way you give it, I mean, I'm talking about this every week to all my students since I teach, and it's an ongoing topic because I mean, all of you probably have a vibrato, but you cannot control it. That's what we're talking about today, how to control it. Why is there a need to control it? Because the tone makes the music. I mean, let's give an example. If I say, I love you, doesn't have the same expression as I love you or I love you. You know? See the three types of the same three words? Make a big difference. And that's why it's so important. And the tone, the vibration of the tone makes the big difference and gives the tone the expression which you want. So you better spend a lot of time on developing your vibrato abilities, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you do that, the technical things you need to know with each sound, and in each situation you have different things you need to check out, also with different sounds. And if you have a high gain sound, you need different skills than if you play with a clean guitar. I mean, some vibrators are like this, you know, the classical one, or the BB King one. I don't know how he's doing it. That can work, and you know, you could take BB King as an example. He says his vibrators he makes his guitar cry like a baby, and you know, try to make your guitar sound the way you want. If you love just one vibrator, that's okay. But if you want to have a big variety of expressions, then you better check out the different techniques, and that's what we're talking about today. So let's get started. Alright, so what is the vibrato exactly? Let's take this tone in the C. You just play it like this. This is just one note. And you tuned the string on the C here. Well, it could be any note, we just take the C as an example, and the vibrato oscillates between the center of the tuning. This will be the center. If you press too hard, you hear the tone moves. It's getting too high. There's a way of doing a vibrato, but that's the wrong one. The classical one is like this. Because on nylon strings, you cannot do the ones on electric guitar, but I only talk about the electric guitar vibrators, okay? So, how do we do that? Now, the trick is to have an oscillation around the middle point. So, the best way you can do that either like this. You see it's bubbling around, it's not really cool. Or the best way to have a maximum control is doing it sideways and like this. See? And you need to be really relaxed with your hand. You just And the whole system is really, you know, the guitar is like this, has not really a position. The whole system is loose. See? Now let's do the next note. Well, and at the moment it doesn't need to make a musical sense. It's just to show the positions. Be like this and do the rotation like this. That's a really wide vibrato. Or with this finger, the other one helps. With the next finger, the other two help. And the more you're getting towards the pinky, the less you can do this maximum rotation. So if you have a lot of time, then it's cool that you just... Or this can also be nice, you know, you just help with the other fingers and get a really, you don't have any tension here on the hand, just have a relaxed position. See? And you just move around with the pinky. The other fingers help, but they stay in position on their frets. They don't move here. That's not good because it's not ergonomic. Just now on the highest string or on the lowest, it's a bit tricky because on the high E string you can only do it one way because you always do this oscillation between the middle point, but on the high strings you can only do this, so that's a little bit tricky. So if you want to have a perfect vibrato, you try to avoid long notes on the high E string because you only have a one-way vibrato, okay? So if you have this note here, probably take it here. You can make it nicer, okay? So let's do it in a typical song here. You can practice this. I'm gonna switch to a distorted sound. Okay, I'm gonna switch off the delay for now. We come with the delay after that. Oh, the guitar has a little bit low volume. We want to hear the guitar. So I make it a little bit louder. So, okay. So you can work through a song. And I always compare this with ice skating. This is an extremely unstable thing here. You know, you have many ways of missing the pitch of the note. So getting a perfect pitch has also to do with your perfect vibrato technique. If you don't do it properly, I mean, you can do it as an effect. You don't hit the pitch correctly to get a neurotic feeling. That's also cool. As I said, you can do whatever you want, but you need to control what you're doing. But if you turn around the perfect pitch, well, let's take more distorted. The more distorted your sound is, the more important this motion around the pitch point is. Now let's take this one here. When you do it properly, then the overtones come. And of course the pinky is not the perfect finger for vibrators, so if you have time, you avoid the pinky as vibrato finger, okay? So these are the long notes. And what is also important, if you want to have more dramatic into it, what I mostly do, I accelerate the vibrato till the end of a note. Start like this and then accelerate. And when you accelerate, you have to change position. You can do like this, but there you get this speed. If you want to have more speed, you need these ones. Then you go in this position, then you take it out of the strength of your fingers. Before, you do it with the whole hand, okay? So that's the difference, doing it with the hand, or this can make a difference. Whatever expression you want to do, I'll show you. with this track here. That was really good one for vibrato training. Now I accelerate, see, then I go on this crampy position, and then I come out of my fingers. See how I switch between the positions, and that makes the big difference, okay? And I know this is not so easy as it looks like. And as I say, I tell this to my students every week. Check your vibrato, check it out, because the vibrato is your voice on the guitar, okay? That's really important. And now comes the bad news. The vibrato, you need to practice the feeling of the vibrato. And it's everywhere different on the fretboard. So if you go in higher positions, if you want to have a really great expression, the vibrators are more intense than in low positions. So also check that one out. You can also do this direct, you know, like this. And it depends on the music or on the song which you're playing, how you want to select the vibrato. As I said, you have the wide ones for the long notes, and making the acceleration of the speed of the amplification also makes a big difference. Now let's select like a rock track. I think it's this one here. Oh, that's the blues. Okay, so it's this one here. This one here. So this is a rock track, and now we have different vibrators. You have more of these ones here. And like on rock tracks, this acceleration of the vibrato to the end of the note is more important, because you want to have a really extreme expression. Then to accelerate, like, it's really important if you work with delays. If you make the acceleration at the end of the note and then stop, then you have it multiplies with the delay the intensity of your vibrato, and you're going to have a really intense expression, you know. Now let's take a blues, for example. I just take a normal blues. What key is that one in? If you have a clean sound setting, then you probably go to the typical B.B. King vibrato. You know, this, you know. Or this, like this. And the wide ones don't really work. The wide ones, maybe, depends. Also practice to play licks and directly go into a wide vibrato. High position, different vibrato, okay? All works. But the technique is always the same. If you make the wide ones, go in this position out of the hand. If you have the fast ones, more this position, then out of the fingers, okay? With different sound settings. And also the acceleration till the end of the note works best when you work with delays. Now comes the last vibrato, the really tough one, the one. Let's go back to A minor. Vibrato on bendings. These are really tough because the system is extremely unstable here. And let's check them out here, just A minor pentatonics here. Just in root position with these two vibratos. So you need to get the pitch, and then when you have it, go into this motion. And then you move the whole system. This is really unstable. See? And you need to keep this more or less in a fixed position, but still have the ability to move the guitar. And you also need to practice that you go in vibrato and then continue going normal playing. That is really a lot of practice time because your body needs to know how much pressure you need to get the pitch and where the point is where you start to move the guitar. You also have different types of bending, you know, go up and direct up, fast bending, vibrato, or slow up, slow vibrato. See, different types. Also with different sounds. Now let's go back to the first track and see how that works. Now let me take another one. High position. In general, it's really a point of feeling how much pressure you need to do to get the perfect vibrato. Yeah, guys, this was a really serious talk about vibrato. I mean, the story is told pretty fast. But I know how I worked on vibrators. It's really check out different positions on the fretboard, use different fingers, also try to just play like, you know. To get the expression which you want with the sound which you want. Every sound works different with the vibrato, so you better have the ability to control it and not always do the same vibrato. I mean, I know many of you guys out there all have just play one vibrato because I have all my students, most of them, they only have one vibrato, and I tell this story every week, you know. So I know you guys out there really know that, or you should do what I'm talking about here. You don't need to do my vibrators. You can also there are some guys like Carlos Santana is a guy, at least in the early stages, he didn't have a vibrato at all. Probably because he couldn't do it, or who knows why. That's also a way of expression. That's cool too. Doesn't mean you have to have vibrato all the time. If you say, I don't want to have any, that's cool. I mean, just think about your way of expression with your voice when you talk. If you're, a steady guy like a blah, 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 blah. If you've ever been to Finland, these people talk always on the same velocity and pitch level. It's like blah, 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 blah. You don't understand anything. But something comes, and that's what vibrato is, to give your voice different waves. And so I just showed you the technique and how it's done, but to work on it, it's not done in 1 week. It takes quite a while. I know from my students because they work on the vibrato a long time till they get it and say, okay, that was good. And it's really a topic on its own. But don't underestimate this topic, because if you don't have a tone on the guitar, your amplifier just makes the signal louder which you put in. If you put in comes out, So really pay attention to what you're doing on the fretboard. It's not the equipment. What you're doing here with the vibrato, that makes the tone. And then if you have a good amplifier or a good amplification system, then it makes it nicer. But if you play it will not help. Yeah. Good. That's all I wanted to say about vibrato. If you can practice this with any track you want, but if you want to practice with those I just used, they're available in the HPCrazy Guitar Academy. Just go to that topic and they are posted there and you can download them for premium members. Please also join the HPCrazy Guitar Academy with a free member account, because there's a lot of useful stuff there which you probably will be interested in. Good, so me and Dr. Pink are saying goodbye for today and see you guys.